everyone, in this video I am up in the northwest corner of Nebraska near the town of Crawford with a farm that is stacking wheat hay. This farm currently runs 4 John Deere 200 stack wagons. In this video we're going to see 2 of them running. First up here, they're John Deere 4440 on this 200 tandem axle stack wagon. Later on we will see another one running in the same field with this hooked to a John Deere 7810 tractor. They are also raking hay in this video with a John Deere 4240 tractor and a Vermeer rake. I got here on a Sunday morning just as they were finishing up this field here. They are moving to another field down the road. This area has been an extreme drought situation here. A lot of the wheat did not get very tall, and then when it was coming in ahead, it got a hard freeze. It got down to 18 degrees one night. This area virtually has no pasture grass. Their alfalfa is not going to make a crop. So for feed, they are actually mowing this wheat, raking it, and stacking it. Now, if you've been following my channel over the last several years, I've been able to catch a few of the Heston stack hands out working in the field, but trying to catch the John Deere stack wagons has been a little more difficult. The John Deere 200 stack wagon was built by John Deere from 1974 to 1980. The round balers kind of took over this stack market, and you don't see many of them out here running anymore. This farm does have a round baler, but they tell me they feed about 500 stacks per year. One of the common questions I've gotten on the Heston stack hand videos is how do they move the stacks or handle them when they're done? At the end of this video, they will actually go out and pick up a stack of alfalfa from last year, take it out to a pasture, and feed it to their beef cattle herd. Also, when they was done stacking here, they went out and swathed another field of wheat for hay. So I have a little bit of footage of their New Holland swather at the end of the video as well. Another question I get on these stack wagons or the Heston stack hand is how do they hold these together? There's no twine or net wrap. As you can see here, he stops. This roof compresses hydraulically, so once they get enough material in there, they will lower that roof. That will compress that stack. They will drive forward, blow more material back into the wagon. Also, you may notice in this video, he kind of moves that house or that roof up and down a little bit. There is a flapper on the top of that chute right there, and that can direct that material to the front or the back of the stack wagon so they can evenly build a stack. Again, these machines were very popular throughout the country before the round baler. This area does not receive a lot of rainfall. I just looked it up. It looks like this area gets approximately 20 to 22 inches of rain a year. Now, they are nowhere near that. Their wettest months, supposedly, from what I can tell, are May through July. Now, this year they've had virtually nothing. Also, last winter, they virtually had no snowfall. So that has really hurt the wheat crop in the pasture ground and so on. Again, I am just very grateful that I was able to connect with this farm and get out here and make this video for my YouTube channel of all this action. This all started several years ago. I was coming back from a snowmobile trip out west, and I was going across US 20, and across the prairie I could see a bunch of these John Deere stack wagons all lined up. Now, I could only take a picture from the road at that time. They had a bunch of these that they bought, and they're just using them for parts and salvage at another farm of theirs. I never did find their main farm. I was going through here one summer, and I was looking to try to figure out where these guys were. It had just rained, and I was in Chatter, Nebraska, and I was at the local Walmart. I saw a guy with a cowboy hat on, and I went up and asked him if he knew of the farm that ran these, and he said, yes, I know them very well. He said, you want the guy's phone number? And that is how I connected with this farm. So anyways, over the years out here making these YouTube videos, doing this and that, some of the ways I've connected and found this equipment, sometimes I just randomly see it driving down the road, and I can ask the guy. This one was a little more difficult, but hey, we finally made it all happen. One other note, John Deere in the day made 3 different sizes of these. They had the 100, which I would say was comparable with the Heston Stack Hand 10. They had the 200 here, which was very comparable to the Heston Stack Hand 30. And then they also have a John Deere 300 stack wagon, very comparable to the Heston Stack Hand 60. And then John Deere had the option for a single wheel or tandem axles like you see here. I actually still have a couple John Deere hay equipment brochures from back in the day that shows these in their product offering. And right now you will get to see how they unload these stacks out of the wagon. So there is a live floor at the bottom of this. He's got the roof compressed there. He pulls a latch, and then when he raises that roof back up, that will open the tailgate, and then he can engage that live floor, and that stack will slide right out as he drives away. I'll have some drone shots throughout the video of them unloading stacks. Also have some on the ground shots. They put 5 of these in a row together, and he says there's a company, a guy can come in with a truck that can back under these and haul 5 of these stacks away at one time. Also, at one time, Owatonna or OMC built a stack wagon as well. Now, those ones are very hard to find. I found a couple sitting around. There's some for sale once in a while on Facebook Marketplace or Tractor House. If anybody out there is still running the Owatonna or OMC model, or some of the John Deeres or the Hestons, feel free to comment below, reach out to me. I'm still interested in doing more videos on these machines. Another hay stacking machine I would like to find to do a video on is the Hay Buster. Hay Buster had a different concept to theirs. It would pick up the dry hay, convey it up. They had a turntable, and when their stack of hay was complete, it looked more like a big muffin or cupcake. If anybody out there is still running one of those, definitely reach out to me. That would be something to see and do a video on. Now, once in a while, I still will see a few of those Hay Buster models out west sitting in a fence row or parked in a pasture, but the last time I seen one of those run was near Thedford, Nebraska, and that was probably 20 years ago, long before I was doing YouTube videos. In fact, at that time, I didn't even know what the machine was. And then, of course, back in the day, a lot of guys used to stack hay using what they called the beaver slide. I actually videoed one of those out near Jackson, Montana in the Big Hole Valley several years ago. If you've not seen that video, I'll put the link to it at the end of this one. But stacking hay, especially out in the West, has been around for a long time. All right, enough of me rambling on. Let's now watch and listen to these machines in action. And he is doing his final compression right here. He'll back out of the windrow, go over and unload this. So we'll give you a drone view of one of these stacks being unloaded now. Anyways, I think normally guys will compress the stack. I've heard anywhere from 3 up to 6 times. Well, sometimes the video opportunity turns into getting put to work, so I'm actually raking, and they went and got the other stacker, so they got both 200 stackers running in the field here. So I'll get this raked up, then I can get the drone popped up and get both stackers in the field here with the drone. So that should be pretty cool. It's a win-win. Cruising in this 4240. It's got the 8-speed power shift. You can see both tractors and stackers running over there, making a lot of dust. Now that they are all done making stacks for the day, he is coming out here with another one of their John Deere 7810 tractors in the 200 stack mover slash feeder. So the stacks of alfalfa he is about to load up and feed to some cattle out on pasture is alfalfa that was stacked up last year. Now look at the outside. You can see they're weathered right on the very outside. And this question's come up before, how do these things weather? Well, after he loads this up and we get out to the pasture and he starts feeding, note how green and how well kept these stacks are. They actually shed the weather really good. So this thing has a live floor. He's going to back under it as you see here, load this stack up, and then on the front there is a flail attachment that goes up and down hydraulically with a conveyor underneath, so he can grind away at that stack, and that ground hay or alfalfa will fall down on that belt feeder and then feed it right out in a windrow for the cattle. Talked about the drought in this area and how their rainy months are generally May through July. You can look at this pasture right here. Normally, I don't think they need to feed hay this time of year, but there is just no grass out there, as you can see. After they were done making stacks for the day, the fellow that was running the John Deere 4440 and 200 stacker went back to swathing. So this will give you an idea what the wheat crop looked like in this area. It's pretty short, and as it was coming in the head, it got down to 18 degrees, froze off. I did thresh out a couple heads in my hand, and you might find a grain or two in them, but not very much, and what was in there was pretty small. So this is about all they can do to get something for their crop, and this will make decent cattle feed for them. Now, some parts of the field didn't look terrible as far as height and green, but you can see this spot right here, not good at all. going to do it for this video. Something a little different here. I hope everyone enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this, please go down there, hit that like button. Feel free to leave a comment. If you're new to my channel, I would appreciate if you would hit that subscribe button and check back often for new videos. I am always filming, editing, and uploading new content. You can also follow me along on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Farmhand Mike. As always, thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next video.